if you see fit.
Yep,
Just for consideration.
Yep. I think that's the other reason, just to hear any other tweaks on the budget. So that's,
I have a few tweaks, not too many.
Good.
All right. The court reporter. We use court reporters during many of the proceedings, and it seems this year, I don't know if it was a drop-off in the economy, but there was a lot more matters going to trial. People a little bit maybe more desperate, taking things to the brink, so had more an increased expense in the court reporting. Also included in that line is our court interpreter fee. Now, the interpreter fees are going through the roof. Fortunately, people are coming to my court are not speaking more English. It seems to be less. And we have an interpreter that charges us $50 a session for Spanish to English. She was requesting a raise. Now, she hasn't gotten an adjustment for how many years, Ann? About 7 years. She gets about $50 a session. She'd want to get up to $100. Now, I know, Mr. Supervisor, you would ask me, why should we at this economy do that? And I said the same thing to Ann. Well, if we don't use her, if we go to precise abstract, which would be another certified translator, and we have to use certified translators, I just can't get somebody off the street to do it, they're $160 every 3-hour minimum. So if we bumped her up to $100, we'd still be cheaper than our alternative. Again, for your consideration, that would take the 26 to about 28.5. The office supplies.
Mr. Burge, you're taking notes here, right?
Yep.
The office supplies, our supplies are going to increase. Now, you would think that would be a bad thing, because at this time you think we should be watching what we're doing. But through the efforts of Ann Capisi, and I want everyone to know that Ann was instrumental in getting us about $40,000 in grants. We now have about $14,000 in electronic equipment. We procured $10,000 for rugs and painting, and $15,000 for equipment and furniture. Some of the furniture people are sitting here, and some of the items we use can be used by the whole town. So Ann was instrumental in getting this extra equipment. The problem is the toners and all those ancillary items require us to bump the $2,400 to about $3,000. Again, for consideration. The library cost are at $2,000. I'm not sure how the $2,000 was determined, but if you look at the year-to-date expenses, we're closer in line to $2,500. And I guess the bad news is the ticket collections. Because the ticket collections were off, we may not be paying as much on ticket collections to the service fee to Complex. We have a service that handles the tickets. So the $15,000 we probably could reduce, but there's a whipsaw to that. It means we're probably getting less revenue. So there's maybe $2,000 of play in the $15,000.
Can you explain what that is exactly?
The Complex?
Yes.
Complex is an agency we use that processes our tickets. If you mail them in and do the collections, will they charge you 20%? 20% they charge the court. So if we get $100 to a parking ticket, the town, we get $80 and we have to pay the service $20.
We tried to reduce that 20, but we don't have enough tickets, and it would have cost us more to pay off because the data.
Well, that's the other issue. If we wanted to do it in-house, there's another cost. More salaries, and it's going to be a lot more than the 20%.
What type of tickets are you referring to?
Parking tickets.
Within the town of Rye?
Yeah, there's a place called the Westchester Airport, and for some reason people don't like to follow the parking ordinance up there. Surely not near your house. We see that you're very good parking around your house. But it seems other parts of the community, the shopping centers and things, people are not as vigilant.
So this is not the streets in Portchester, and it's not the...
Actually, the parking tickets are quasi-criminal, so that would just be in the Rye Brook area. And we have the responsibility of the airport, the hotels, the fire zones seem to be a problem, the shopping centers. I guess you could imagine where you ever got a parking, well, not to suggest you ever got a parking ticket, but if someone were to get a parking ticket, most places are out when you're shopping, you're at a restaurant or things of that nature.
I thought it actually meant speeding tickets on 287. I had no idea it meant parking tickets at the airport. That doesn't include speeding tickets on 287?
No, the speeding tickets we handle ourselves. The troopers come in, you pay a prosecutor to administer those. So I don't want to give you the idea that it's a free ride. You have the court infrastructure. You had to hire a local prosecutor because the state police don't want to prosecute their own tickets anymore. And then Rye Brook does their own enforcement of certain areas, the state troopers of some others. Then we have the Westchester County Police.
I was just curious with the ticket collection. I mean, maybe we've all at one time or another gotten a ticket. I've heard of just as you walk through the door of the courthouse, you pay off your ticket. I mean, we don't have that here.
Oh, you could, but a lot of people don't avail of themselves. So you got to remember, they're at the airport. Sometimes they're just passing through. It's easy enough to mail in.
I see.
And the alternative is always there to come in and pay the ticket. Am
Why
I
not
correct?
have it mailed to the town itself? Why do you have to mail it out to someone else?
I guess.
No, they mail it to me.
What is Comp Plus a service to us? That's
For
what
the
it is.
delinquent.
Service to us is they data input every single ticket. And then when we get paid, we don't give them any money. We tell them what that payment is. Any that are not paid voluntarily, they send out delinquent notices to try and collect. They have access to all DMVs, either Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, and the tickets are written to a plate, so they will research the plate, find out who owns it, and if they don't pay voluntarily, they send out a delinquent notice with a penalty to try and get.
So is that more what they do? Just as an example, Nick's group collects hundreds of millions in taxes. We don't pay someone else, or until lately, we don't pay others to open the envelopes.
But Nick has a department where you have people opening envelopes, so you're getting away from that, I see.
Yeah,
But we'd have to do that.
Okay.
And it's certainly something we could look at, and maybe somebody should do a cost analysis. I don't have the manpower to do it, but certainly I would invite, if you think the town could save money by doing that, it's something to explore. I'm not going to oppose it. But, they also do other issues of scofflawing. See, a lot of, in addition to people getting tickets, some people have the nerve not to pay them.
Yeah.
So that's the outstanding tickets and the scofflaw program and the other items that are a
They're
problem.
really like a collection agency.
Yes, they are.
More than a...
Yes.
All right.
And they specialize in tickets. And the only other wild card I have now is court security. I found out the other day that our court security officer is no longer going to be with us. He had negotiated a certain rate, I believe it was $75 an hour. Once he goes, he's now going to be at the Portchester schools. The court won't have any security. So we have an option to use the Portchester police, which is rather expensive. Again, I don't know how to budget for that number because I don't know what the parameters of the town are. Maybe I'll leave it up to the board to come up with an alternative. Again, I don't have the ability to hire somebody. I'll leave that up to the board.
Well, and certainly, this is the first I'm learning of the change, but we need to provide security for you. So let's figure out a cost-effective solution for you.
All right.
Cost-effective and security-effective.
No, that's appreciated.
When is your person leaving? As of when?
As of yesterday, he's left. Yeah, he's left.
Well, I'm just curious. I mean, obviously, it's absolutely imperative to have security. Is it possible that you could even outsource that to a private security firm? Is that doable even for the short term?
I would have to check. I don't know if Attorney Noto would have an answer if you need a private security firm to come in and patrol in the court, if that would work, not work. I'm not sure.
I think you would have to do a public, municipally based security. I mean, you can use the Portchester Police Department.
Well, that was the thing, but there's a cost. They're $200. They have a minimum.
Well, we don't even want 1 day without security, so...
No, but we're giving the information.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to be accused of not giving you the full time.
Ann, if you could work with Bishop, and we'll find somebody.
And again, unless the board has any questions, or the supervisor, or if any of the other departments have any questions of the court budget, our processes,
No, it's perfect.
they'll be able to
That's
answer that.
exactly what we wanted. Actually, thank you very much, Judge Provenzano. That's exactly what we wanted you to do tonight.
All right, and on behalf of John and myself, we appreciate the past support the town board has given to the court in funding it for the operations, and we expect that continued support. And thank you for this opportunity tonight.
Thank you, and I want to thank you, Ann, and Judge Colangelo for all the hard work you do for the citizens of the town of Rye. Thank you.